Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learn his truth, 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, service, scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere, your children, shalom. And in today's video, as you can see, is going to be titled chaos and uproars will be the new norm for America. You see, because ultimately this place, Babylon the Great, is that is in. And that's why we only going to continue to see, these ice raids and everything else that's happening in this place continue to get worse as time progresses, man, because this place, America, has ran its course. Right. And that's what a lot of these people don't understand. That's why things in this place is only getting worse and more intense, because this place is at its end, man. Right. Because we know, as the scripture says, I'm going to grab St. Matthew chapter 12. Verse 25 and verse 26, and I'm reading in NLT. It says, Yahweh Shah knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed, because eventually that's what's going to happen in America. You're going to have civil war. Like I said, look at everything that's happening with these ICE agents, how they're snatching up the northern kingdom. Now they're snatching up the southern kingdom as well. And eventually we know the Lord is going to put the spirit on these Babylonians, these American people. They're going to fight against the government. That's what's coming, right? So it says a town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart, right? Verse 26, and if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided and fighting against himself. His own kingdom will not survive. And we see that happening all in this place, America. You got all of these different governors and politicians. They're all suing Trump and going up against him and saying how everything he's doing is unjustified and that he shouldn't be doing it. It goes against the Constitution. I mean, this place, America, is divided on all sides, man. You see the people divided, the politicians divided. I mean, everything in this place is just in chaos, man. You see, and like I said, that's because this place has ran its course, right? We're coming to the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man being in power, right? And the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. So that's why we're only going to continue to see things in this place heat up more and more, right? I'm gonna grab 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. How do you measure the time diligently? You ultimately look at what the scriptures say and you align it with what's happening in the world now. We see everything that Lord Yahweh Shah said over 2,000 plus years ago happening now in the earth, right? We see the wars, rumors of wars. We see the earthquakes in diverse places. We see the nation rising against nation, the kingdom against kingdom. We see all of these things happening like the Lord said it would. So that's how we know where we're at, right? It says, when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, right? Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? You go into that word visit, it means to judge. So ultimately, that's why we see things getting worse worldwide, because we're in a time of the Lord judging the earth, which he made, man. So that's why these evils are only going to continue to intensify and to skyrocket throughout the earth, right? Things are not going to get back to normal. Trump is not going to bring peace to the world and all of these different types of things that a lot of you people want to believe, man. All of that is fairy tales, man. Because the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah will stand, man. And all of these things that the men of the Lord have been prophesying about, you see, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, these things are going to happen, man. Right? Verse 3, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes, right, and uproars of the people in the world, and we see this happening a lot, man. You see, with all of these protests that are happening with ICE and everything else happening in this place, America, those are what you would consider uproars of the people protesting how unfair and unjust everything is in this country. This is what happens when a country has ran its course, man. You see, and that's what we see, man. We see America falling, man. This place is done, you see. Verse 4, it says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Because ultimately the end was already declared in the beginning. It tells you that in Isaiah 46, man. Right? And I'm going to grab that real quick. And I'm going to start at verse 9, right? But the point is at 10. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me, right? Declaring the end from the beginning, right? So the end was already written in the beginning, right? And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And this is ultimately what we see playing out in front of us, the will and the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. You see prophecy playing out, man. That's where all of these things are happening, right? Back in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 5, it says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifested. You see, and that's where we're at, man. We're at the end, man, of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man being in power, ruling over the earth and wickedness. All of that is getting ready to come to his end, man. So that's why you're going to continue to see things only get worse You see, in this world, man. You see, especially here in this place, Babylon the Great. This place is just going to continue to crumble. You see, moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, things in this place is just going to continue to go downhill. You see. So I'm actually getting into the video so we can listen to what it is that the guy is saying, you know, of the things that are taking place. Because like I said, a lot of things are going on, man. Right. And it's all eventually, like I said, is going to lead over to all of the chaos that's soon about to break loose in this country, man. Right. But like I said, this is going to be the norm. Chaos, sedition among men, uproars of the people. You see people fighting against the government. All of that different type of stuff is all going to be normal soon here in America, man, because this is going to be a day to day thing, man. Right. And the evils in this place is just going to continue to increase. Right. So fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use.
ICE just released new drone footage. Look at this. You see the individual launch a tear gas canister in the direction of federal agents.
So as ICE agents defend their deportation jail from wave after wave of crazy people, they're also ramping up raids across Chicago. And it turns out homeless shelters, apartment buildings, and even hospitals are no longer safe zones for illegal fugitives hiding in this former sanctuary, which explains why angry rioters will not stop throwing themselves at law enforcement, even if it means they're taken down permanently.
Outside of Chicago, more than a dozen demonstrators were arrested at an ICE facility. Federal agents flashing with protesters.
Surveillance video shows federal agents in unmarked vehicles jumping out and chasing after a group of people standing in front of the homeless shelter in Bronzeville.
They never identified themselves. They never asked for anyone in particular, didn't present any warrant.
This stunt has nothing to do with public safety. They're not targeting violent criminals or gang members. They're arresting tamale vendors.
You know, I think the first thing I would say is, how about you live in the apartment next door to trained Aragua members taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way? Why don't you live next to them and then see how much of a Gestapo or a we are?
You know, they've got all the riot equipment. There's probably some Palestinian flags in the background. They keep asking for things like, you know, due process rights and, you know, the conditions are not good. We know that the people who are put through the immigration system are given their due process.
We will not fund states that allow anarchy. Law and order will prevail, and President Trump will make sure of it.
Salakia for that. Salakia ad, you know. Right. But we basically got a gist of what it is that's going on for the little bit of the video I did allow to play, you know. And like I said, that's going to be the norm here in this place, Babylon, man. Chaos, just violence everywhere you look in all of these different cities. I mean, you know, that's what the Lord is bringing to this place, man. Right. That's Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, man. Hey, so the Lord is bringing destruction to this place, Babylon, man. Chaos, man. Confusion. You see, that's all we see running rampant in this place, man. And it's only going to get worse, right? What does it say in 2nd Esdras 14? I got to grab that, right? Because this is the time that we're in. Verse 16, it says, for yet greater evils, right? Meaning bad times than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So each day that goes by, things are just going to continue to get worse than what they are now, man. You see, that's the time we're in. Verse 17, for look how much the world shall be wicked through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Talking about the people that dwell within the earth, man. You see? So I'm going to grab 2nd Esdras chapter 15 as well. And I'm going to start at verse 14. Because like I said, this is what is coming, man, to this place, Babylon. We already see it in its beginning stages, but, you know, it's going to continue to get worse. It's going to ramp up more and more. Eventually, to all hell just break loose in this country, man, because that's coming. It says, you know, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because that's what the Lord is bringing, destruction. That's what that word woe mean, you see. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, right? And when something is not, I mean, it's fastly approaching, it's coming soon, right? And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand, the modern day sword being those guns, man. And like I said, through everything that we see these ICE agents and all of these other different people doing, it's only a matter of time before these Babylonians take matters into their own hands. Eventually, people are going to fight back against these people, man. You see, the Lord going to put the spirit on these Americans to where they're just going to crash out, man. Right? What does it say in Matthew 24 and 12? And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, man. Cold in the Greek meaning psychos, So like I said, these people are already frustrated. They have nothing to live for. You see, they see everything in this place is crumbling, is going down. You see, the price of living is going up. Price of food is going up. People are just, hopeless in this place, man. And eventually, like I said, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it. And that's what's going to happen here soon in this country, man. Right? Which is going to lead to all this chaos. It says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, right? The word sedition goes into people uprising and fighting against the government, right? And like I said, we see that happening on a small scale with all of these ICE raids. But hey, eventually, these people are going to be fighting against the government with swords in their hands, man. You see, which are those guns? That's coming, man, right? It says, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, right? Talking about these government bureaucracy agents, man, these police officers, these National Guard troops, these politicians. These Babylonians are not going to be regarding these people, man. When all hell breaks loose, when things really hit the fan out here, people ain't going to be caring about what Trump is talking about, man, or these governors. You see, people going to be out here, doing whatever it is they're doing. You see, that's what's coming. It says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because eventually in the midst of all of the chaos that's coming, right, these devils going to set up martial law, man. You're going to have military checkpoints. You won't be able to move around freely. You see, throughout these cities, man, all of this is coming. They're about to lock this place, America, down, because ultimately it's all part of these devils' agenda, man. They knowing that they have but a short time. So this man is about to come down with great wrath, as the scriptures have said. Right. So verse 18, for because of their pride, right, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And these people here in Babylon the Great are proud, man. These are some proud, arrogant people, man. And that's why Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to allow all of these different types of, evils and miseries to come upon you people, man. Right? As it tells you right here, let me grab that. 2nd Esdras 8 and 50, one of my favorite precepts. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, you see. And I'm going to look at that word miseries, because this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing upon you people now. But like I said, greater evils is only going to get worse, man. Right? This is the definition of the word misery on the AI overview on Google. It said a state or a feeling of great distress of both mind and body. Right? And you go down to similar words. It goes into distress, unhappiness, right? Affliction, you see, anxiety, suffering, right? And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing upon you Americans, man. You see, you proud Babylonians. You see, the Lord is about to bring a lot of hardship, you see, and miseries upon you people, man. A lot of suffering, a lot of anguish, a lot of torment, you see. Gloom, doom and gloom. That's what's coming, right? So we're going to get back into the video, and I'm going to watch a little bit more of it. But yeah, this is the norm for America, man. Chaos, violence, you see. Civil unrest, you see. People, losing their mind, looting stores, bugging out. This is America, man. You see, because like I said, this place is done, man. It's finished, through. So bear with me.
President Trump will make sure of it.
So Chicago activists are furious that ICE doesn't leak their operations ahead of time. Can you believe this? And what nobody in Chicago wants to admit is the entire reason ICE is even in their communities in the first place is because this is a sanctuary city. And it is 100% the fault of Chicago that they even have an ICE presence on their streets, because their main way of resisting federal immigration law is by banning local police from working with ICE, which means that when the Tren de Aragua fugitives hiding in apartment buildings get arrested for committing crimes, ICE never finds out and they get released and get to come home, forcing ICE to raid their building at 3 a.m. instead of picking these guys up from the local jail. And this presents a major catch-22 for sanctuary cities who say they don't want ICE around when their very policies force ICE into their communities. But perhaps this is the plan of the party of political violence who's radicalized sanctuary mobs all across this country into thinking ICE is out of control.
Right? And you hear what it is he's saying, right? And ultimately, it's all for a bigger purpose, man. That's why these things are happening. Ultimately, it's all going according to prophecy. But at the end, you also still have Esau that wants to bring in his new world order. So ultimately, Esau needs all this chaos to happen, man. You see, order will have chaos. He ultimately needs the chaos to happen so he can ultimately bring in the order. out of all of the violence and things that are happening. And like I said, that's what I just read in 2 Edges 15 and 17. You know, a man desiring to go to a city and shall not be able, because these devils are going to lock down this place, America. This place is about to be boarded up, man, like Fort Knox, man. You see military Humvees everywhere. You see soldiers all over in places. You know, that's what's coming to this place, man, because ultimately it all leads back to the MOTB, the Charagma, because they're setting these military soldiers in place and getting people's mind familiar with their presence. So, you know, when this MOTB comes, who you think going to be the ones, you know, forcing it upon the people or getting people to take it? You see, these military soldiers, these ICE agents, man, they're going to be going door to door. This is what's coming, you see, because like I said, this place, America, is at its end, man. The so-called white man is done, man. You see, and his empire, man, you know, his queendom, you know. So like I said, it's only going to get worse from here on out in this place, America, man. So with that being said, Lord's willing, I pray the video be edifying, just something quick through the spirit, not too long. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.